Hey guys, welcome to another video on Bharat in Germany, and in this one I'm going to pick up another comment that I received in one of my videos, and that is from Harsh Wadhwani. Harsh writes, "Hi Bharat, your videos are getting more informative day by day, especially this series that you have started dealing with thing other than studies. Can you please make a video on time management? I find it really difficult to manage my time and I always end up doing less number of things than those planned due to time wasting and lack of management. Please, it would be of great help." So Harsh, thank you so much for asking this question. Now, I think I want to start this video by asking you, how many things do you think are possible to do side by side? Now, I will give you an example of how many things I used to do when I was doing my master's. So in 2016, I started my master's, and I think in around November, I was able to get my joining at WTM Engineers, a pretty nice company. And there I started working. So in the starting I was doing my master's, and master's was in German thought program, everybody knows that so far. Then I was doing a part-time job. So whenever I was not having lectures in the university, I would go to work and I would work part-time. At that time I used to be in the tax class 5. That means even if I'm earning 400 euros, 500 euros or something, 50% of that, almost 50% of that amount will get cut, and I will only get 250 euros or 200 euros in the end. Because this is how tax system works. When you're married, one person has to take tax class 3 with lower taxes, another one has to take tax class 5 with more taxes. So that happened. Now afterwards I started YouTube in January 2017, and in around April I started working with a website, and we were just working really hard and trying to grow the business and things like that. So at that time, when I remember, I was doing my master's, I was doing my part-time job, I was doing YouTube, and I was working every single day on the business. In October 2017, I started my own business. That means I have to now take care of the business side of the things. I have to take care of web development. I have to take care of marketing side. I have to take care of my part-time job, and I have to take care of my master's. And I was doing all of these things. I think the part-time job I only quit in, I think 2018 or something. But I was really focused on making all of these things run, because for me the priorities were different, right? So I personally believe time management, it is not so much of an issue as is what kind of things are absolute priorities for you, and what kind of things you would not focus on. And if you don't focus on them, life is going to turn out very badly for you, right? So it's this survival essentially motivation that you have to keep in mind, that when you're managing your time and you're complaining that you're not able to manage your time better, a lot of that is because maybe the things that you have put inside are not important enough, or maybe you're not finding an important enough reason to really sit down and work on them. So in those kind of scenarios, you have to make the work easier for you. Don't be too hard on yourself, because if you do that, you fall into the spiral of just complete guilt, and getting out of that becomes very difficult. So if I would be in your place, the first thing that I would do is focus why exactly you want to do the particular task that you have set for yourself. So come up with a proper reasoning behind it. If you have some kind of notebook or something, I always keep one with me, because sometimes you have some ideas, you want to write them down. So when you're having some particular task, I would always pick 3 main tasks that you're doing in a day, and then 2 additional tasks that you can pick up on the side. So write these things down. Write what accomplish those particular tasks will mean for you. How are they going to make you happy, or how are they going to benefit you in your career or something like that. Mention those things. The more detailed you can, the better it is. Then once you have done that, make slots in your time schedule. I really do not believe in micromanaging everything and putting 5 minutes this, 5 minutes this, and so on. I think it doesn't make sense. If you have some specific events, for example lectures, of course you have the lecture from 9 to 10:15 or something, or 10:30, and the next one starts then from 10:30 to 12 or something. So when you're doing things like these, of course you will have specific appointments. But if you're managing your time, as in you're working completely on your own, which I am, for example, doing right now. I have my own businesses. Nobody's coming to tell me that do this from this to this time and do this from this to this time. Then I keep slots for myself. I say, okay, I'm going to try to figure out from 9 to 11, I'm going to take care of this thing. From 12 till 14, I'm going to take care of this thing. Then maybe from 16 to 18, I'm going to take care of this thing. And from 18 onwards, I'm going to have my appointments. Appointments are very specific things. And then If it's 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, it doesn't really matter, because like, you know, I have to be with the person for a specific amount of time, understand their problems, give them solutions. That's it. But when I'm like focusing on something more creative or something which is more vague and it is going to need a lot more of my organizational skills, then instead of having a very like, you know, standard set time defined for them, I always have slots. Now, another thing that I can mention here is that if you want to really boost your productivity, it is very important that you come to know yourself. You know, sometimes people have phases. So in some phases, they're like very, very productive. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, in some other phases, they could be very down, depressive, and like, you know, don't want to do anything, and like nothing motivates them. So you need to know yourself. How do you respond to different kind of environmental situations? If you're in a city, are you working better? If you're in rain, are you working better? If you are in a sunny environment, are you working better? Or like, you know, what exactly is changing these kind of things? So you can also account for those. For example, like, you know, for me, like winters are always tough. I cannot motivate myself to do anything in winters. Like it's just such a drag, and that's why I always tell Alina, look, I do not want to spend another winters in Europe, because like it's just like, I don't know, for me it's such a huge drag. It takes a toll on my creativity. But I've lived all of my past winters in Europe, and I have worked every single winter, right? Because at that time, the reason to work on the particular tasks that I was working on were very important. If I don't build my business, and if the business is not making sufficient amount of money, what happens? Either I will have to start working for somebody and work there for 40 hours every single week, or like, you know, I have to figure out a way to make it work. So it was really a question of survival for me at that time. And that's why, you know, it was like, let's say you can get through those things very easily. That's why I say, when you are not able to understand what kind of tasks you want to do, and you don't understand the motivation behind, and you don't understand what you're going to achieve by accomplishing those tasks, then this kind of like, you know, problems in time management occurs. But if you're very clear on that, if you remind yourself, okay, like, you know, this is why this needs to be done so that I can accomplish this in the end, then things become so much more simpler. So keep this in mind. I hope this quick video on time management helps you. If you still have any kind of specific questions, write to me in the comments below and I will take care of them. Now, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.